Have you ever looked up at the clock and just felt a jolt of shock? 1 minute it's 8 p.m., you sit down on the couch for just a minute, and then you blink, and it's suddenly past midnight. Hours of your life just gone. Today we're going to crack open this mystery of our internal clock and figure out the brain trick that makes time itself seem to skip.
Seriously, where did that time go? We've all been there, right? You're scrolling through your phone, you're binging a new series, or maybe you're deep into a project. It's this wild, universal feeling when you suddenly realize a massive chunk of your day has just completely vanished. So what is actually going on? Is your brain just playing tricks on you? Well, yeah, kinda.
Okay, let's get right to the heart of it. To understand this, you have to know the difference between clock time and brain time. See, clock time is what we all agree on. It's constant, it's objective, it never changes. A minute is always 60 seconds. But brain time? Oh, that is a whole different ballgame. It's fluid. It's totally based on your perception. It's all about your experience. Your brain doesn't just measure time, it feels it.
So let's start our investigation. The very first clue is hidden in what happens inside your brain when you are absolutely, completely focused on something.
Scientists actually have a name for this. They call it the flow state. This is that mental zone of total immersion. It's when you're so deep into what you're doing, could be playing music, coding, even a video game, that literally everything else just melts away. And that includes your sense of time itself.
So what's actually happening in your brain during this flow state? Well, you're so immersed that your brain's attentional system starts actively filtering out distractions. The sound of the AC, the notifications on your phone, they don't even register. But here's the crucial part. Your brain also stops its constant second-by-second time tracking, and that's exactly why hours can feel like minutes.
But here's the twist. The flow state isn't just for being super productive or having a creative breakthrough. No, your brain enters a very similar state when you're just passively scrolling through social media or binge-watching a show. That constant stream of new, bite-sized content hooks your attention, your brain gets locked in, and poof, the time just evaporates.
Okay, so to really get why time speeds up, it actually helps to look at the complete opposite, those moments when every single second feels like an eternity.
Just think about waiting in a super long line, or sitting through a painfully dull meeting. Time feels like it's crawling, right? That's because your brain has nothing else interesting to focus on, so it becomes hyper-aware of time itself, tracking every single agonizing tick of the clock. So it's basically this inverse relationship. When your awareness of time is super low, like in a flow state, time feels like it's flying. But when your awareness is super high, like when you're bored out of your mind, time slows way down to a crawl. The big takeaway here? Your perception of time is all about where you're putting your attention.
All right, now for our final and maybe the most fascinating clue of all, how your memory completely tricks you when it comes to time. It's not just about what's happening in the moment, it's about how you remember it later.
Think about a vacation where every day was packed with new sights and new experiences. When you look back, that week probably feels really full and long, right? That's because your brain created tons of new, distinct memories. Now compare that to a normal week at work. Same commute, same tasks. Your brain just compresses all that repetitive data. So when you look back, the whole week can feel like it flew by in a flash.
And this explains that feeling that so many of us have, the sense that time speeds up as we get older. Think about it. As we age, our lives often become way more routine. We have fewer firsts, first day of school, first car, first job. With less brand new information to process, our brain just starts compressing bigger and bigger chunks of our lives. The years start to feel like they're blurring together.
Okay, so we've looked at all the clues, the flow state, boredom, and memory. Now it's time to put it all together for the final reveal.
So here it is, the big secret. Time isn't actually skipping. The clock on the wall is still ticking away just fine. What's really happening is that during those periods of deep focus or just mind-numbing routine, your brain simply isn't creating detailed memories. It's like a camera that was left on, but nobody ever hit the record button.
And that brings us to a much deeper, much more personal question, doesn't it? If huge chunks of our time are passing by completely unrecorded by our own brains, it kind of forces us to ask ourselves, are we actually living our time, creating new memories and experiences, or are we just letting it all pass by unnoticed, unrecorded?
If this made you think a little differently about your own time, do me a favor and hit that like button. I'd love to know, where does your time disappear the most? Drop it in the comments below. And hey,
Make sure you subscribe for more explainers that help you understand the world and maybe even yourself a little better. Thanks for being here.